Narcissists. So today what I'm going to talk about, it might trigger you, but hear me out. What if the person that you really thought hurt you and did all this horrible stuff, what if they were actually the person that was here to wake you up? What if they had a soul contract to come in and be this horrible person in your life so you could break through that to become the person who you're really meant to be? Now, I've got a little bit of a different lens on this today, through a lot of my own stuff. And just before I go into the video, my name is Lisa Reese. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you can listen to today's video with an open mind, and I'd love to also get your thoughts and opinions in the end once you've listened, and yeah, tell me what you think. Anyway, so through my own journey, I've had different narcissistic people in my life, whether that's friends, partners, or whatever. And we can get into this victim mode, and not saying it's nice. It's not, it's not a nice thing to go to. But through my own spiritual awakening, through my own healing, through all the work that I've done in my own life, I've come to this place where I'm doing work with Akashic records and stuff like that. And sometimes these people, well, my belief is a lot of the time these people are here to play a certain role. And they meet us, they're meant to play this role and basically break us down to an absolute shell of ourselves, because we have to wake up, and we have to find ourselves and really find our voice, become the person that we're meant to be. So with that in mind, it may take a little while to get around that, because we have to kind of go through the pain and heal through the pain, and then once you've gone through that, there is this space where we learn to forgive and send them love, forgive and forget, and or not, maybe not forget, but forgive and send love and peace. Doesn't mean we have to actually go and forgive that person in person, but we can do things like hoponoponos, which is I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'll add that in the comments as well, and look up hoponopono if that's something that calls to you, or you might already know about it, and that's a really great, it's a peace prayer, so that's a really good thing to do to anyone that you want to really deeply forgive. We don't need to do it in person, because sometimes that person's still in their own mindset or their journey, and so they might not be at the healing level that you're at, or whatever. So this is a safe way to do it. But basically, through my own journey, I've learned, and through a lot of different teachings that I've been listening to, and all the spiritual stuff that spiritual content that I've listened to myself, and also just coming into a little bit of my Akashic records work, going into different soul contracts and stuff like that. I've actually realized that people were here to play a certain role, and they had a very important part in your journey and your healing, and so the more we can actually send love and forgiveness also to that person, if they're in a place where they don't think that they're doing anything wrong, then there's also you can send love and healing towards that. But I just want to make a side note, make sure you always get yourself out of something that is actually physically dangerous, because you want to protect yourself and keep yourself safe. This is just a different take on narcissists, and I listen to a lot of Bashar as well, and it's creating our own reality. If we keep getting the same type of people in our life, it's like what are we sometimes we might be seeing men is all like this, or these type of people is all like this. And so the more we see that, the more we create our reality. So a good way to not put everyone in a box, or put type of people in a box, and say these people all like that, is to actually see them as differently. How can I see men as differently, or how can I see these type of people? I'm just using men or women or whatever as an example. We may have been hurt by a type of person, and we just see that type of all those that people in that same box. So how can we actually be like, actually say to ourselves, I don't want to see that anymore, I want a different reality. And then we can actually start seeing people as healed and loving. And then the more we see people as healed and loving, the more we will actually see that. It may not happen straight away, because you're still working with some belief systems that are quite rigid and wired. And so the more you can work on those belief systems and really start to believe that people do generally want to heal and do better, and be in a better state, or a healed state, or being a loving state, the more we can see that and feel that, the more it will become part of our reality. So yeah, with if you've had a narcissist type personality in your life, it can be a mother, a father, and if it's been a father, then you can attract partners that are like that. Same with a mother, female partners, we tend to attract who our parents are. Whatever our parents are like, we can attract people like those on the same sex. So or it can be friends. You might have just constantly had friends that have told you what to do, or told you who you are, or kind of like to talk down to you, or keep telling you what to do and stuff like that. And so you may have had your whole life may have been surrounded by narcissists, and but just if you can actually send them love and healing, and have discernment. Now you know what the traits are like, what those type of people act like. How can you have discernment, and then also looking at changing the reality, and wanting to attract healthy and people that are doing the work on themselves, that are actually doing the healing work, and that are they can recognize these things in themselves, and actually self-reflective people, because no one is actually healed. We're always healing. Life is a healing journey. It's constantly awakening, constantly healing, constantly self-reflecting, and looking at how we may have handled a situation, how we may have showed up, what was our part in this dynamic. It's not all just one person doing all the or it being the narcissist. It's like this, if you go into the drama triangle, which is like the victim, the persecutor, and the oh my gosh, I've just forgotten the other one. Victim, persecutor, and the rescuer. I was like, what's the other one? Yeah, so we're all kind of sitting somewhere in that drama triangle. So you can actually look at all the relationships in your life and the little dynamics around you, and see where you're sitting in the drama triangle. Are you the rescuer, constantly wanting to rescue and help others? Or are you in the victim mode, like, poor me, why is this always happening to me? I always have people that are horrible, blah, blah, blah. Or are you the persecutor, which is kind of like the narcissist, you're always wanting to start the fight, or fighting, or causing what it is. So that's like self-reflecting. If you can open up and be more self-reflecting about the different dynamics, and see also what the roles are teaching you. If we're going into the victim mode, or like, why do I always attract these people? Okay, is it because my boundaries are still not my boundaries are still quite loose? I'm not showing good discernment. Maybe I'm not able to sort of see it at the beginning for what it is, and allowing, being a people pleaser. A lot of us that may have attracted narcissists, we're generally people pleasers, and so we love to people please, to the point where we give everything of ourselves away, and then we're just like this shell of a person. So yeah, that's just a bit of a like a take on my version of these dynamics and soul contracts. So if you're interested in looking into soul contracts, and also what maybe looking into it in a different way of like, what did this person teach you? Like, have you now become a stronger person out of it? Has this been the start of your spiritual awakening? Because if it has, you can send love and thanks to that person. Because imagine if you didn't wake up, like, you might still be walking around like a zombie, and not really aware of anything. So sometimes we can actually, as painful as this experience was, we can actually be really grateful and thankful that they helped us wake up to who we're really meant to be, this journey that we are on now, and everything that you've learned. Every relationship, every dynamic is a learning, and sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's not pleasant, sometimes we're just, we get stuck in that story for the rest of our life. So not getting stuck in the story, and actually sending gratitude and thanks and love and compassion, and doesn't mean they need to be in your life anymore, or keep those boundaries. Always, if there's someone that is always in your life because they might be a family member, or you might have children with them or whatever, you can still see them with a loving lens, and understand what they helped you and what they taught you along your journey. So that this is just another take on looking at these relationship dynamics and soul contracts, and if you've done Akashic work, let me know if you like what you found your soul contract was all about. I've done my own Akashic work, and it's quite interesting when you actually go and you're like, oh wow, that's what past lives were, that's why maybe they're here, or that's why they're here to actually awaken me to this journey. So yeah, that's my take on this sort of topic, on some things that I've discovered and learned, and I just felt like I really wanted to share this as another perspective, and so we can really so the main thing, my main message is taking your power back. I want you to take your power back and know that you're strong. You can be thankful that you're here, that you're aware, that you've become a stronger person, and that you're able to help others with the knowledge that you have now. And so I think that's the main thing with all of the experiences that we've gone through, is how can we use them to help others, to empower others, to inspire others, to use that fuel to our fire, to create a better world. And whatever we can do to help others is almost the reason why we're here, really, is to have that soul mission and to create a better world for everyone. So I'm gonna sign off there. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.